Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are finally back for 2021, and we can't be excited. We are excited. We can't be happier that we're back.
We're very excited.
There you go.
Yes, we're here with, of course, Jesper and
hello.
She's back for a guest spot. If you can do me a favor, y'all, if you could share this stream with everyone that you love, give us a like, a thumbs up, an angry face. I don't really care. Just give us something. That would be great. I just want to say, too, this is our 3-year anniversary of the Gig Economy Podcast. Well, we've passed it. It was late December in 2017 that I sat in my laundry room and did a podcast by myself. I should repost that.
I was worried you were going to say
you
sitting in your laundry.
Oh, no, definitely not. No, in my laundry room, it was like a 15-minute podcast with some ghetto ass mic. And so we've come a long ass way. So
3 years. Wow.
3 years. Yeah, we're heading into our 4th year. So the studio is sponsored by Irvines Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid. We'll talk about them a little bit later. Those Uber notifications that you're hearing, that's people liking and sharing the stream. So that's usually hot and heavy at the beginning.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Come on.
Keep doing it. We'll it's totally fine.
I knew it was coming, and it still incited panic in me for a second.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. I don't remember what the lift one is set to, but we don't get that one a lot.
Which is good.
Before we get into the podcast, a little bit of housekeeping. We do have a merch store now. If you go to redbubble.com and search the Gig Economy Podcast, you can buy t-shirts, phone covers. What were we teasing about, Jesper? You can buy a comforter.
Yep, comforter.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to go to bed to.
And notebook.
And a special request, if you want a comforter with Jesper and I on it, we would be happy to oblige.
It's going to be a firefighter calendar edition.
Wait.
Yeah, we're going to be
There you go. Yeah.
So if you go to redbubble.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast, you can find that.
Also, I'd have to bleach my eyes out.
Well, yeah. Also, I want to thank all our Patreons. Keith from Georgia, Janet from New Zealand, Leo from Detroit, Larry from Bowling Green, Samson from Grand Rapids, Miguel from Grand Rapids, and Ron G from San Francisco. So also, if you'd like to join the fun with them and get extra perks in merch, you can do that. Go to patreon.com and search the Gig Economy Podcast. Okay, stories. Well, we know Jesper doesn't have any. Sam and I have still been. Do you have a story?
I don't have any stories.
No.
Sam and I have been trudging through the gig economy, and I've had a lot go on, but nothing that really stands out. One thing that did happen over the holiday break after Christmas, I took a route for a surged rate and got to the warehouse for Amazon Flex, and the warehouse was closed. So there were about 25 cars there, like going, what the hell? And so I emailed support a couple of times, wasn't expecting any money, but they actually paid me a couple days ago. So I'm pretty happy about that.
So what you get for trying to work after Christmas, like just take the day off.
Hey,
we all talk about how nobody takes enough vacation time. And there you are the day after Christmas.
He got $66 for free, man. What's up with that?
Yeah, he did.
Wrong with that.
And I got another free route yesterday. I went to pick up a route, and they do something. Sometimes they overbook. Now the warehouses don't create the routes. Somewhere else in the world they do it. And I don't know, they predicted wrong, but I took one package and was paid $77. So
yeah, I'm sure that truck that you saw pull in was just late, and they probably did need all those routes had it been on time.
Yeah, could be.
That's all right.
What about you?
Wow.
I mean, not really. Like Instacart's pretty straightforward and shipped. Not a lot of craziness really happens.
No.
You
know what's crazy is you're not in the center of your shot. You're like,
that's because my cat got up into my lap and I can't twist under the desk with her on my leg because she's too fat.
just pinch her.
No, I like her being here.
Who is every day is like a field trip? He says he needs that comforter.
I think it's John.
Oh, it's John.
And she's being quiet, so it's a good
All
thing.
right. She was whining earlier.
Yes.
So,
I mean, I guess I will mention that, like, I told you about that really good Costco order I had. I don't think I told Jesper. So once in a while, Costco treats you to a few gems. I had a single order at Costco. It was a double, but the second order was like 7 items. It ended up paying me $118 to drive 9 miles.
What?
Oh,
yeah. It was a real good order.
What? How did that happen?
I mean, it was just the tip was over $90 for the one lady.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
that's amazing. Let's see.
That's pretty cool.
It's Steve in Colorado. Happy anniversary. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. He has a podcast too called Rideshare Rodeo, I think.
Okay.
Oh, is that
That's Steve.
Rideshare Rodeo? Oh, okay.
After we mentored him, and then he started his own podcast and started taking our listeners. Yeah, that's Steve. Just kidding, Steve. Just
sorry, Steve. I didn't recognize you.
John. That's funny. Thanks, John. All right, let's move on. Irvines Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. They are located on Stafford, just east of 131, 44th Street. They are the studio sponsor, and they've been the sponsor for at least a year and a half, Jesper?
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah, they've been great. Clearly, we're sending them some business, so that's good. They are the best in the area. They always say they're not the cheapest, but they are the best, and they will fix it right the first time. You can schedule online, irvines.com, or call them 532-6600. Check out their Google reviews.
Jesus Christ, Mark and Pete.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You can check out their Google reviews. 4.7 out of 276. Well, Sam drops a JC during the ad. We appreciate Irvines Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid for supporting the show. Good Lord, Sam.
I just opened the comments.
Oh, you did? Mine were
yes,
off too.
That's why. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
So
be mad at me.
Colorado Johnson's is Steve. He was talking a little bit about how people need to do Dumpling over Instacart. We have a couple of people using Dumpling in this market here, Steve, but it feels like for the end user, it's a lot more expensive. So, I mean, either way, I don't think it's too used here in the Midwest, but we know about it. So
yeah, we both used it a time or two. It did seem a little bit more pricey, but you are supporting someone, not a huge corporation, which is kind of nice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Dumpling, it's just you as a shopper, you take the risk that you pay to use the service.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to earn that money. And I don't think a lot of people want to take that risk.
Right.
When I did it too, it was very clunky how I had to get her the order. Like I placed it on Instacart, and then I made her, you can add someone on as a user on Instacart. You know what I mean? Where they can access your list. But then with Meyer, I had to send her a screenshot. I don't know. It was kind of a pain in the ass.
Well, it's because, again, the Dumpling platform is standalone, and it doesn't tie into any of the other one where Instacart, gets all the Instacart and Shipt, they get the information from the stores, right?
Right.
So it's kind of all synchronized that way. So,
all right, as we jump into gig economy news, I want everyone's predictions for the gig economy in 2021. Like, what do you think is going to happen? I thought about this a little bit, and for me, one of the things is I think Lyft is going to get bought out by Amazon. I know they've been thinking about buying a rideshare company, and I think with how terrible rideshare has been, I don't even know how Lyft is still in business, to be honest with you. Like, there can't be any. I know there's some rides, but they can't be making near what they used to be making.
They're handling their money way better than Uber is.
Well,
yeah,
that's clear. But would you guys? What's your thoughts on Amazon or even another company?
I don't think Amazon would be allowed to buy Lyft.
No, I don't think so either.
Why is that?
They're just going to slowly create a monopoly. We've watched Amazon do it with so many things in the past that it might be the final straw that people step in and say no.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work either. I do think though that I think as more and more people are getting vaccinated and the pandemic is getting less, I think a rideshare company is going to have just a super strong year as people are just itching to get back outside. That's my prediction. That I think, once all this is over, hopefully soon, or getting closer, then they're just going to get a much stronger year. What's going on, Sam?
I think Jason can hear the background of my house.
Yeah, I just listened to the cat fight.
Is that the kitties in the backyard?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh.
If you're watching the show tonight, you might get a cat fight.
It's just the one cat. It's just her.
Fighting with himself. So.
But yeah, no, and I don't disagree, Jesper. I think people are going to be itching to get out and go to the bars as soon as they can. But it's going to be a tough return to what it was for Lyft.
Yeah, anyone that's watching, if wants to chime in on your market, if bars are open or whatever. I know they're not here in Grand Rapids, not in Michigan.
Well, there's one in. Now, I was in Hopkins? Yeah, there's a bar open in Hopkins. I can tell you that much.
Oh, there's a lot of places that are open that are under the radar, but yeah, we won't mention those. So
we don't talk about that.
You don't talk about Fight Club. All right. So any other predictions you guys think about the gig economy as far as like DoorDash or Grubhub or any of those food delivery things? I don't know.
I mean, Postmates is already bought up by Uber.
Yep.
And I don't expect any big companies to honestly burn the cash this year to purchase anything.
Yeah, that's true.
They're probably going to wait. I would guess 2022 is probably going to be a bigger year for more acquisitions of the smaller companies.
Why do you think Lyft never got really into the food delivery? You just think that the market was so saturated, they're like, it's not worth it?
Maybe, and just I think Lyft maybe is just more committed to focusing on their core product and being the best version of it, right. Which is, of course, debatable depending on your market. But I think that's what they're known for. They're not trying to be number one at everything. They just want to be a good ride share
which
company.
Is probably a good smart move, not try to be number one, because they know that they're never going to be number one. So,
well, they're focusing on what they're really good at. So I think that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
So I think the more interesting question here is what's going to happen with all the there you go. Sorry. Yeah, I got distracted by the comment. What's going to happen to all the grocery shopping services as things open back up? Because there's so many people getting used to it now, right? And so
that ties in so nicely to what Marissa just said in the comment.
Well, yes. I did. There you go. So
yeah,
Yes, but you missed Sam. You missed her ripping on you.
No, I know. But it's just, I think the question is how many people are getting used to it and how many people don't want to go back to the store and do the shopping themselves because they also realize that they're actually in fact saving money because they're only getting what they want. They don't get all the crap that they don't need, right? So there's all the additional benefits of not doing it. So the whole question is, how much is that actually going to go down, or is it at all going to go down?
Well, I agree with Marissa a little bit. People are lazy, dude. Was it you, Sam? I was going to order Ben and Jerry's and in like 2 pints with tip, and it was going to be like $25. And
your wife told you no.
She's like, no way. Like normally I let you do whatever you want. You cannot spend $25 on 2 pints of ice cream when Meijer is a mile down the road and it's on sale for like 2 for $5.
I eyed a chocolate cheesecake from my couch for like half an hour and shipped, and I didn't do it because I wasn't going to spend that much money for a chocolate cheesecake, but I thought about it.
But I guess my point to Marissa is like, yeah, I think it will reduce it with their own pickup, but people are lazy, man. Yeah. They don't even want to go pick it up.
I don't think the concept of like grocery gig work will go away. It's just that Shipt specifically might take a big hit because Meijer is pulling back. They're getting to the point where they don't want to deal with Shipt anymore.
Well, no, because their competitor owns it.
Right. And I mean, if they can have their own staff do most of the shopping, really all they need us for is to deliver it, and they could use any service for that.
But I gotta tell you, then Meijer staff need to really up their game, because we have had a couple of times where Meijer staff did it, and they did such a poor job that no.
Part of the reason that is because the Meijer staff don't communicate. If something's not there and you don't have a substitution picked, they don't contact you. They don't have phones. They have a little scanner. They don't have phones.
Well, but that's still part of the problem.
Yes. So yes, that's something that Meijer would have to think about, is that you need to have a way to communicate with customers.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, because, hey, use Ship then. Don't use Meijer. Yeah, it's a little bit more, but if you can't communicate.
That is only if you're doing pickup.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even if you go through the Meijer website to have it delivered, it's still a Ship shopper doing it. That's how I order it. That's what the prepaids are.
Okay.
The prepaids just mean you order through the Meijer website, and then a shipped person shops and delivers.
But the delivers isn't that much more expensive.
No.
It's really not.
Well, it's $10. It's $10 to have it delivered.
If you go through Ship, the prices are raised. If you go through Meijer.com, they're regular price.
Right. And then you just pay $10 for the delivery fee, which is cheaper than the markup if you do a big order.
Right.
And you get the sale prices. So if something's 5 for $5 at the store, you actually get it 5 for $5.
Yeah.
You don't on Shipped.
So Marissa is actually right now, she's saying somebody did the math once, and if you do weekly orders of 80 or more, it's cheaper to do Shipped anymore than it's cheaper to do Meijer.
Yes. So yeah, for my small orders, I still go through the Shipped app because I don't pay a delivery fee because I have a free membership. And the markup is cheaper for a small order. But if I have a big order, I do it through Meijer.com because the $10 delivery fee is actually cheaper than the markup.
So you say you have a membership fee. Is that something anybody can do, or is it only because you are also a shipper?
Anybody can purchase a membership. It's like $100 a year, which then gets you free deliveries as frequently as you want, as long as you spend $35. But if you're a Ship shopper, you just get a free membership.
So that's essentially the Prime model, right? So are we going to see more, do you think? Are we think we're going to see more Prime models for these side of services?
Probably. I mean, Instacart has one too. It's Instacart Express, I think.
Yeah,
and you pay a yearly fee and you get a discount on every delivery you order.
I mean, Prime goes up every year. We just still pay it no matter what, right? Because it's easy.
You can't get rid of Prime. Well,
speaking of Prime, I mean, we're talking about, grocery shopping. Amazon's coming with Whole Foods. Like this year is going to be different. We're not only going to be doing logistics for Amazon, we're going to be doing whole food deliveries and everything. So that's really going to change up the game.
Well, and we are getting, I mean, just here personally now, we're getting more pantry orders now. So that's easier too.
Yeah. I mean, I swear to God, I never look at any other site. I go to Amazon. I'm like, oh, okay, here, ship.
You know what the awesome thing was the other day, right? Somebody delivered a 50-pound dog food to our door. I didn't have to take it out of the store. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that was probably FedEx though.
Oh, maybe, I don't care, but I still didn't have to ship it. I didn't have to go pick it up.
So just so you know, Jesper, if you order from Pet Supplies Plus, they will deliver from the store to your house for free as long as you spend like $30.
See, I didn't know that, but Prime doesn't have a Pet Supplies Plus don't have a Prime.
But your bag of dog food probably covers it.
Well, Old Roy's already pretty cheap.
I was gonna say I don't buy that brand. I buy the cheapo brand.
Oh shit! I buy my dogs eat like kings. Is freaking all right. Let's move on. Before one thing that I gotta say that Leo had a prediction about DoorDash, and they said they're going to lower. Where'd the comments go? Where was it?
I see it. It's the lower the base to $1.
God, if they do that, it's already so freaking low. I mean, it's $3,
right?
And
it's $2 more at that point. People are still going to do it.
Oh
my! Right.
I got so many requests today for $3 to go like 7 miles to deliver some food. I'm like, are you high? Like, I'm not even gonna.
Well, that's why, like, you guys say you can make good money on food delivery, and I know you can, but I feel like when you start, it's just so hard because you just get pelted with these $5 and $6 orders, and if you can't do 4 or 5 of them in an hour, you are not making good money.
You have to be smart. I mean, I literally run 3 apps when I'm doing food delivery: Uber, Grubhub and DoorDash, and DoorDash is kind of like a filler. You know what I mean? It's like if I got nothing and a $7 one pops up, I'll take it.
Right.
But for the most part, it's Uber or Grubhub.
Yeah, it's a hustle.
It's definitely gets very hairy-carry. Like you have to know, like let's say you pick one for DoorDash and it's going 5 miles west. Well, I keep the other apps on. What if a Grubhub comes up that's close? I mean, you're like in your head.
The other day when you were mad because you had to wait for somebody.
Yeah. Like you're literally in your head making a map and you're like, okay, I can grab this one. This is going west to Jenison. It's when you F up and you realize they're like 6 miles apart and you're like,
yes. And it'd be nice to have a better map app that allowed you to add multiple stops more easily than the ones do now. So you can.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
It would. Like Google Maps, you can add stops like along the way to your destination and see if things make sense, but it's time consuming.
That's the problem. You don't have a lot of time to make those decisions.
Right.
So
I need one where it's quick.
Yeah, and just a tip for any new drivers or food delivery, you take a time and look at that map. They put those pictures on there and they look like they're really close together. Look at the miles, and then even if you have to zoom in a little bit, take a peek because you can get burned.
I did that with the shipped order. I thought they were like a mile apart. They were 20 minutes apart.
Oh, ouch.
The guy didn't care. He still tipped me, gave me a good rating. So it was fine.
All right, we're going to jump into our first picture. I have a lot to say about this one. Yes, Bruce, read it out.
I think this is funny. So it goes, you could have rung the doorbell, leaving notes. Please ring bell. You're a fucking delivery guy. You should know the ring the goddamn doorbell, dumbass.
First of all, I'm impressed. Jesper read all the swears.
I am too. I almost offered to read it because I didn't think he'd want to.
I didn't want to, but it's getting it. You know, Jason he always does this to me. So I'm actually impressed that there's at least not one body part in there as well. But anyways, so. What was all the things you're going to say about this? Because I think this is. I mean, I think he was fine. It's like,
well,
I would not have rung the doorbell. I would not have. I would just left it and done what I was supposed to do.
Well, it's a constant battle with me because personally, I always try to leave food or do my job like how I would want to be treated, right? So when I get to the door, I always knock when I leave the food. I do it every single time unless it says, please don't knock. And I think, but I've had, I think people don't like to knock sometimes because maybe their kids are sleeping and everything. But if I got food, I mean, yes, I do have my phone on me most times, but a lot of times those notifications come in and out. They drop down on the screen and they pop up and then you don't know they're there. If someone knocks, I'm going to know that immediately. Like, oh, my food's here. So
I'm sure Franklin will let you know.
Oh yeah. And Winnie, man, those dogs. But what do you guys prefer? I mean, would you rather have someone knock or would you just rather have the app tell you?
Oh, I always want people to knock.
You do?
Yeah, definitely knock. You don't need to ring a door. I mean, my doorbell doesn't work, but at least knock.
I don't care because I'm on it. I mean, I don't ever get food delivered, right? But I would know when they're there.
I mean, I follow them. Like once I see the cars pulled into the driveway, like I'm ready to go. But it's just what you do.
That's me, Jesper. When I'm angry, I'm like, where is this MRFer? You know what I mean? Like I need to eat. Larry says
watching them take wrong turns.
Yeah. Like, where are you going? Are you picking up another order? I never do that. Wait.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I just thought
I don't live down that street.
Right. So yeah, I feel like you should knock. I think it's a courtesy thing. I mean, UPS does it. They honk their horns when they pull up. They deliver the package. They knock on the door and they honk their horn when they leave. Now, I'm not saying
they do.
Yeah, that's what you're trained to do.
I mean, I guess I live in the back, so I wouldn't hear the horn.
They don't all do it because some people think it's annoying. But
yeah, like if you have a sleeping baby in the house or a loud dog, I would be pissed if you knocked on my door.
Well,
honked the horn. I mean.
Most days the UPS driver doesn't even come down my driveway. He just parks out there and he runs down and drops the box and leaves again.
Oh yeah. You can't put that truck in your driveway.
No, I know. Which I'm fine with. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Drop off the 50-bag pound of dog food.
Oh man, that poor driver. Oh frick. I had to deliver something heavy today too, and I was like, this sucks.
Mom dropped a package today.
What do you mean? She had a route?
No, she was with me.
Oh, I didn't know she was with you.
Yeah, and it was like a 35-pound box, and she dropped it on the ground.
Then what are you bitching about? You had your mom there the whole time to at least keep you company.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. All right.
So what happened to the package?
Listen to my podcast when she's in there talking all the time. The package was fine.
Sure, it was.
Oh, God.
Fine.
Hey, we're not responsible for the packages. The packer should have packed it right if it breaks. It's not our problem. Throw that shit in the back. And
what pisses me off though is when I get a package from Amazon and it's already super messed up, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna think I did this.
Right. Or you get a package and there's like a tire print over it, and you're like, oh, what you're like, oh, it's all in one piece. So, all right. Next is a video about some the Lyft insurance and how a driver is not getting covered, and then we'll talk about it.
A Schiller Park Lyft driver got into a fender bender and thought, no worries, I pay extra for rideshare insurance, I'll be okay.
Right, but he got stuck with the bill, and he says his insurance company misled him. Morning Insider Tim McNicholas learned confusion over murky coverage is a recurring theme in rideshare.
It was a trip to the airport. A hot ticket for rideshare driver Vic Vendegna.
I'm on disability. I'm doing this to get some extra cash.
But he wound up with a bill for that November trip, a big one.
Almost everything I've been able to save since I've been earning Lyft.
You see, Vendegna backed into a truck at the start of the ride.
Dumbass.
This part of the bumper had popped out.
The truck was unscathed, but his van had about $1,800 worth of damage.
Yes, sir. Well, I almost stepped in your poops.
He needs that money and other bills. So he tried to get his insurance company to cover the damage. After all, he pays extra to founders for rideshare coverage.
They said, oh, wait, did you have a passenger? I said, well, yes, I did. And she said, well, you're not covered if you have a passenger.
He didn't like the smell of that. He says Founders Insurance told him since he was working, Lyft Insurance could handle it, despite the special rideshare coverage. But Lyft's policy has a $2,500 deductible, so they couldn't help him with his $1,800 repair.
My rideshare insurance that I upgraded is basically just permission to use my vehicle that I own to go and drive for Lyft.
We hate to hear these stories, but we hear them all the time.
Attorney Bryant Greening of the Chicago-based firm Legal Rideshare says insurance is the most common topic in his cases. He says some policies only cover certain phases of the job, like when you're looking for a passenger versus when you're actually driving them.
To adequately protect yourself, you need to go into your insurance company and say, I want full coverage for rideshare work.
Greening says he'd like Uber and Lyft to do a better job explaining insurance nuances to drivers.
There's my good boy.
And Vendegna says Founders should have explained.
What logic would make anyone ever think that having a passenger in the vehicle isn't covered, even though I've upgraded rideshare?
Oh, it's covered.
But now he knows a rideshare policy won't always prevent an insurance tug of war. Tim McNicholas, CBS 2 News.
So, you know, Pete has gone through this. They stepped in, but that does bring up a good question. Does that, I mean, once you're on period 2 and 3, are all the rideshare apps responsible?
I mean, I think technically yes, because they do say they will insure you that time. Right. But most insurance companies will cover like the deductible difference.
I was gonna say, I thought I heard too that they will help cover the deductible.
Oh, so they will cover
like $1,500, for example. If your deductible is $5,000, theirs is $2,000. Your insurance company should pony up $1,500,
right?
And then you just be on the hook for the other $3,000.
Yeah, it makes me want to talk to Jackie about that, just due to the fact that I do have rideshare insurance, and I'm curious what would happen. But I mean, we all know the deductibles. At least you're probably supposed to.
Yes.
I
should have not have been a surprise for him.
No, and again, I mean, I've never had anyone ask if there was actually a passenger in the car at the time. I don't think.
Yeah. I think there was. He picked him up and he backed up.
No, I mean,
I know. Yeah.
for mom or me when accidents have happened. Like it's just been, yes, I was on a platform. This is what happened, and it's been fine. Like they just move ahead.
But it doesn't matter if you are. So basically, at least the two differentiators is it doesn't matter whether you're on the platform or not, but it is, are you either on the way to get a passenger or do you have them in your car? That's period 2 or 3. Those are the two where Uber and Lyft's insurance definitely covers it.
Right.
And so in those situations, that's what Uber and Lyft is first. But I'm like you, I'm with you, Sam. I was on the impression that in those situations, your own rider will go in and cover up till the deductible.
Right. Which, I mean, that's what.
But it's an interesting question to have Jackie answer.
I'm assuming most of those. But I mean, I think that's usually what happens is that they kick in at least that small amount. Like
Who's
for
Wanda who keeps talking all the time?
When I got into the accident doing Flex, I had to have Amazon send a letter to me refusing to cover it. And then my insurance picked it up.
Yeah, it's definitely you need to have the rider. Just it's super cheap. So I mean, but you should call your company and say, okay, what happens? Like, know your periods. Give them an example. I had a passenger. I backed in just like this guy and say, what will you all cover? Like it was $1,800. Like you literally use that guy's example and say it was $1,800 worth of damage. Is Lyft am I gonna have to pay for that, or are you guys gonna help, or what? Just so you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think it's ridiculous that founders didn't step up and paid for that. There's no doubt they should.
Well, I know we talked with yeah, Dustin says unless you don't have the endorsement, then you get dropped. Yeah.
But that was the whole thing. This guy had the endorsement. Right. He had the founder's rider.
Yeah.
And so there's that rider is not, I don't feel like that rider is like most of the other riders we've discussed.
What do you mean? Like
most of the other riders we've discussed from the other companies would have covered that difference.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Pete experienced the same thing. They did step in and pay for it, but
Pete brings up a good bringing up a good question. Maybe it was because it was his fault.
Yeah, that could be an at-fault state.
That is true.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, that could be the difference between here and there.
Yeah, he did the deed.
He did the deed. All right, Jesper, let's move on. Why don't you talk a little bit about Uber and DoorDash raising prices in California to fund driver perks, which we'll talk about a little bit later too.
Oh, that's a fun article you gave me again.
I did. Hey, at least I didn't put you anything with like sex or nudity tonight, so you should be happy that you don't have to feel awkward with that.
I'm not awkward. Did you have a slide for this? Or I was just reading it?
No, it's just an article. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Okay, so this is an article from Bloomberg, and basically it's all about, as Jason said, that Uber and DoorDash is raising the prices in California to fund the additional driver perks. And of course, this is all about Proposition 22, which is an extenuation of, what is it called? That the other thing, the law
AB 5.
Thank you. That's what I was going for, which is all this thing that now all the drivers are supposed to get all these extra benefits. So the idea is Uber Technologies raised prices for customers in California on Monday, and DoorDash Inc. will soon follow, adding fees to fund new driver perks granted by the state's voters in last month's election. Goes on to say the cost to Uber customers will vary depending on the city and type of service. The company said, for example, each food delivery bill in Los Angeles is increased by 99 cents. In San Francisco, it's an additional $2. And the surcharge for rides is 75 cents in Los Angeles and 30 cents in San Francisco. It goes as high as $1.50 for in less populated areas. So basically what they're doing is what everybody said they were doing. Is they're just passing on the cost, right? And so... And of course, how else are they gonna get all this money? I'm not gonna go ahead and read the rest of the article because it's just more of the same. But the idea is that of course, all these extra perks that the drivers are now gonna get, the money has to come from somewhere, right? So all it's doing is making the services more expensive for the users. And so now the question becomes: Is that gonna last long term? Are people gonna be okay with that? or are people going to stop using those things? So that's where the big, so is it that we're going to, bite them in the behind because people are going to stop using it as much? But time will tell.
Okay, this is going to be a stupid question, but you know me, I'm super vulnerable. I don't care if I look stupid. So Prop 22, we were all hoping, we were saying, okay, which way were we wanting to vote? I thought the rideshare companies got what they wanted. So why all of a sudden are they giving these benefits to these drivers?
There was an agreement made that they kind of met in the middle, but still shifted towards companies.
Okay.
The big thing about Proposition 22 was whether or not the drivers themselves was going to be treated as independent contractors or not.
Right.
It didn't take away all the perks that they got by AB5.
Okay.
So some of them, yes, but the big differentiator and the big reason why Uber and Lyft still saw it as a win was those drivers are still
independent contractors.
Exactly. They're still independent contractors, which means Uber and Lyft do not have to do all the FICA and all the other taxes,
overtime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a little confused, but we'll look at some actually real soon about how they've kind of Grubhub's kind of changed things in California. People and drivers are pissed.
But I mean, I don't know what people honestly expected.
That's my thing.
Health insurance is going to be paid for. Somebody was paying for it. Did they honestly think that Uber was going to come out of pocket for it?
No.
Especially when the company hasn't ever been profitable.
Well, yeah. But see, that's a dangerous word, Sam. That's a dangerous word.
The exact word. They have revenue. They're just not profitable.
But why do they have revenue? Well, no, sorry. Why are they not profitable? Because of the way they spend their money.
They're spending too much money. But the fact of the matter is they aren't profitable. They don't, in theory, on paper, have the money laying around.
But they make money hand over fist.
Oh, I know. But
that's a ridiculous part of that part is the whole system tells them that they are allowed to be in a situation where they on paper are making no money, which is ridiculous.
I agree.
I think Jesper should be the CFO. And say, hey, he does in our business. He's like, Jason, you ain't spending shit.
Exactly.
Hey, lately I've let you spend money, man. It's all good. It's all good.
But
I didn't mean to attack you, Sam, but it's just that's kind of a pet peeve of mine.
Plus, I guess, are people really upset about paying an extra 75 cents for a ride if it means their driver now has health insurance?
No, they don't care. They don't care.
It's not the riders or the customers. Okay. It's the drivers.
Okay.
But, anyways, well, we'll talk about that a little bit later.
The cost is still being passed on to the passenger.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you know how Uber drivers are. They see what the company is bringing in versus what they're making, and they think they're entitled to a percentage when that is not the case.
Again,
Uber's getting more than 50%.
Again, I've said from the beginning why they did that upfront pricing and showed the drivers. That was the biggest mistake both apps ever did. Like, I would be like, it's my company. I'm not showing you this. This is what we agreed on. If you don't like it, move on. Well, they are still saying that, but the problem is people are seeing the giant numbers of Spartan passengers, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Plus, passengers are, I think, more openly saying, wow, I paid $100 for this ride. And people are like, oh, well, I got paid $15 for it.
Oh my God!
But see, that's worth with Lyft than I think it is with Uber.
In regards to what?
I'm sure that's market based.
That whole differentiation between what is, particularly, again, I haven't driven for 8 months, so I'm not sure. But when I was driving back then, people were saying that the whole surge price system with Lyft was broken. People were being charged $60, $70, $80, and the driver was still only getting 15. Right?
It wasn't broken. It just wasn't being, great for drivers.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
Intended.
at least Uber had some kind of. You would still get paid a surcharge, right?
Right. Yeah, Lyft effectively eliminated surges for the driver.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell the passengers.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're gonna screw the driver, but we're still we're gonna screw both of them, but you're gonna take most of it.
Congratulations. You're only going to have to pay $97 for today's ride. Woohoo!
Yes, and then they don't tip us because they think we just made $80 on a ride.
Right. All right, we're gonna jump into the next video. I know it's kind of some of this stuff is old news because we were on break, but
old news.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam.
This is a DoorDash driver confront.
Can you cut her? Can you just cut her off the? Just
I can remove her. Yeah, I mean I can do that. No, I wouldn't do that.
Here's a favor, but you know.
This DoorDash driver confronts a CVS manager about not getting her food. We're not going to play the whole thing, but just so you'll get the gist of it.
Excuse me. I was just wondering why you said that your food never got delivered when I handed it to you. So you did a. Oh yeah, it definitely does, and that's fraud. And now I might get charged for it. It says that you reported that I never delivered your food to you. I didn't report it. Well, according to my. Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying it's fraud and stealing. I'm sorry, but you know when I'm getting in trouble for my job. Oh, go ahead. I apologize, ma'am.
The funny part, it's a cop right there, and they're like about ready to get in a screaming match. The cop's like, "Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't want to do a report."
He's on break.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not writing shit down. Is it a cop or is it a rent-a-cop?
Nah, I think it's a cop.
Yeah.
I should fast forward this. I previewed a little bit, but
yeah, I think that's a real cop.
Yeah, so I got a text message from DoorDash saying that you.
Why did you have the nerve to come in my job talking to me when I was living up?
It's her job.
You had the nerve to report your food as never being received, so I can get in trouble and have to pay for it or lose my job.
I did not report nothing. If you have a problem, you need to contact DoorDash instead of coming in my job.
Well, don't report it as being.
Okay, well, like I said, you need to go.
So you're saying you got your food?
You need to leave me alone. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying you got your food?
Police.
That's
and
fine.
if you're
You can talk
recording
to
me, I'm going to call the police. So please.
That's
the police just left.
I just need you to say that you got your food.
I need you to do my job.
You can call the police. We can talk about fraud and all that.
What you can talk about, lady? You're in my job of business. Leave me alone. Period.
I just want her to put her mask on.
I know. Put your mask on. Yeah. All right, we'll jump out of that. Yeah. I like it. A lot of the signs. Yeah, a lot of the signs are saying not just mask required around your nose and your mouth.
It's so interesting because very, very few people actually know that you also breathe through your nose. It's very, very interesting.
Anyway, so that woman lost her job as a dasher because you can't be recording and post that shit. Like,
no.
What did she expect? I mean, she knew she was going to get busted.
Confront your customers.
No.
Ever.
But CVS did pull the camera footage, and she did receive her food.
Yes, so I'm sure she did.
That bee was lying. And it's like,
so did they fire the bee?
I don't know. They
should have. They should have. I'm
clearly
sorry.
she's comfortable with stealing.
Yeah.
I know exactly. Like,
that's a really good point, Sam. And she's a manager, so it's like clearly comfortable.
She could even hide it, but
yeah.
No. Well, I mean, that's not to ruin your future podcast, but that whole $8 tip video that's been going around.
What?
Have you seen this girl confronted her customer about an $8 tip?
Yeah, it's on the show later.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I didn't read the articles that weren't mine. To be I reviewed everything I had to do tonight.
Fair enough.
We'll be showing that later. This was just a planned recap for it. So good job. Good job.
All right. Anyways, all right. Oiluber.com. Whoops, wrong one.
There we go. That's pretty.
Oiluber.com, on-demand oil changes for you as a customer, or if you want a new gig, you can do that as well. Go to Oiluber.com to sign up for doing oil changes or to be a customer. They also are offering jump starts and fuel delivery. And again, you can sign up to get those services, and you can also sign up to be a gig worker for those services. So go to Oiluber.com, Sign up for either of them, and it's great, man. I mean, I have yet to do a gig here in GR, but I'm waiting, and we need more customers. So if you need an oil change, a jump start now that it's winter, or if you run out of fuel and you're a dumbass, go to oiluber.com and get that.
Wait. Are you calling the customers dumbass?
I mean, I'm calling possible future customers dumbasses.
I mean, considering what happened to me the other day, Jason, that picture I sent you.
Yeah, I was running really low too. But again, oiluber.com. And then if you could follow them on Facebook too, just search up Oiluber. That would be fantastic.
And I want to let you know too that Jason did buy a new pretty cool part of equipment, so he's very excited to be able to do a jump.
I know.
Start. So
it's been in my car for a month. I'm like, I need the jump start. I'm ready to use that.
Did you make the company pay for that?
No.
Oh.
No.
When Jesper brought it up, I was like, what?
No, but now that you mention it, I may expense that.
You can put that on
no,
your
you may not. No, you may not.
All right, this is kind of a racist bullshit thing. Sam, you can go ahead and read it, and then we can kind of talk about it.
Oh my God.
So this is instructions from an Uber Eats order. It's from somebody in Australia. Just so you understand why.
Oh, it is?
Yes, these are the specific racisms that exist. So the instructions are: leave at door, and then to the driver. If you're from India or surrounding countries, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, etc., do not accept this delivery order, as I will send you back and get a refund. 2, if you leave my food on the ground at my door, I will kill you. Australia is a first world country. Leaving it on the ground is third world. When in Rome, live as the Romans do. Live how we live here and leave your old ways behind. At least have the decency to call me when at my door so I know you have arrived. And number 3, I'm 100 meters from Stacy Street, not 500 meters. Do not go by Google Maps as it has my place in the wrong location.
Wonder how many times he's typed that one.
I think you can save those notes.
Well, here's the thing. So me being naive, and you guys always tease me, that's not Photoshop, right? You think that's legit?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's legit.
Okay.
Australia's like the South.
Is it really?
Yeah, if you are non-white,
Janet is on. Janet is listening.
Hey, Janet's from New Zealand. That's a
Janet is a lovely person.
Neighbor.
Janet's a lovely person. Racism is strong in Australia still.
Huh.
Especially if you are if you're non-white, racism is very strong in Australia still. So, I mean, it is here. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just towards different people.
Oh. Wait, there's racism in America?
Shocker.
I didn't know.
Oh, with your accent.
Sorry.
Hey, only special ones get that, by the way.
There's a story to go with that, but I will leave that for later.
But yeah, I mean, so he's a racist prick and probably shouldn't have his food delivered. But like the food on the ground thing, maybe because there's more things that will steal your food in Australia. But like, I don't meet people at the door, so where the hell else are they going to put it? But on the ground.
Well, they're probably worried about an effing snake climbing in there in the 6 seconds that it's on the ground. But I always leave it on the ground. Where do you want me to put it?
I mean, like, I have a grill. If it's uncovered, I'll ask people just to sit it on the grill. But like, if they put it on the ground in front of the door, like, so what?
Yeah. God, I don't know. If I saw that, I probably would bring the food back to the restaurant and be like, yeah, I can't deliver this. This guy's a piece of shit. So.
Well, there was a post on an Instacart page that somebody put. They were mad because their groceries were on the ground in like boxes of like snacks and stuff, because Costco's out of boxes. Okay. So it was just a bunch of stuff on a doorstep, but it was all stuff in packages. It wasn't even like raw produce sitting on the ground. It was all in cardboard or plastic. It's fine.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
Well, this guy's a piece of shit.
Wash it.
All right. Moving along here, so running a little lean. This is one of the things that I wanted to talk about earlier. You want me to take this, Jesper?
Sure, go ahead.
It just says driver benefits in support of California's Prop 22. This payment helps guarantee minimum wage and healthcare benefits for our driver, so they don't have to depend on tips. And I know it's really hard to see, but on the bottom, leave a optional tip for driver. It's like 0, 50 cents, $1, and $1.50. Those are the options now. So a lot of the drivers are really pissed off because they're not getting the extra tips. But
yeah, because I'm sure it used to say like 1, 2, 3, and 5,
something like that. But if you look really close, basically it's like delivery fee is $6.50, taxes and fees is $3.71, driver benefits is $1.50, and then the total was $34.82.
I wonder how many people now look at driver benefits and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's already a tip," and call it.
But I mean, what's really $1.50 going to do? Like, I mean, I don't know.
It pools. I mean, if every single order has $1.50 on it, when I mean, it's like insurance. Everybody pays in a little, and then they all get it when they need it. In theory, if it actually worked well.
Yeah, I follow a lot of. I do a lot of Reddit searching, and a lot of those groups saying they're getting basically every order is like $11, and I'm like, I wouldn't. That'd be great for me here. I mean,
right. But if you're in California, that's probably not great.
Would I want the the $20 B-dubs order I got today? Yes, I would. That would have been.
But if you can do 3 $11 orders an hour, you've had a pretty good hour.
But like you said earlier, if you're living in California,
right,
that's
not great.
Right. Oh, this is my article. It's an article that we'll probably share on social media, but it's basically it's a Jalopnik article, and the guy says I paid $250 to drive for Lyft last year. So it's a long article why he basically said that he paid to drive for Uber, and he didn't make any money. But what I wanted to kind of touch on is the maintenance that he says that he does. And I read through this and I was like, okay.
Did you?
I did. I scanned it up until the maintenance part. So 3 tanks of gas per week. I think he drives like a really small car. That's pretty noticeable. But 14 tires he went through. I'm like,
wow.
14. That seems like a weird.
It should still only be 4 a year.
Yeah. So what? Hold on. Let me.
But why only 14? Why not 16?
Well, he probably doesn't have all-wheel drive, so he can just replace his front ones if he needs to.
I'm trying to find the time frame that he talked about. So it's 2016. So it's 4 years, 14 tires. Let me scroll down a little bit. Full synthetic oil changes every 6 to 8 weeks. That makes sense. Brake pads and rotors are done roughly once a year. That's actually shocking to me because I feel like I go through brake pads way more than.
I think Amazon's a big part of that, though.
Yeah, Amazon
messes up our cars.
It beats the shit out of the car.
Plus, you drive like a maniac when you're mad.
What?
I was just about to say that.
So this is where I was like, this is weird. 3 lower control arms, all 4 strut shocks, strut mounts, and strut bellows. I've never replaced any of that shit. Like, it probably needs to be done, but tie rods, inner and outer, and I'm like,
I guess if you really don't want your car to have any squeaks, and you have a lot of people who plop in the back seat.
I guess, but like sway bar length, like he's
keeping his car in mint condition. That's what he's doing.
So that makes sense. Yes. If you like, I probably need some sway bar shit and some tie rods and all that. But as far as I can tell, it runs down the road fine. So
right. Yeah. If you don't want a single creak, any noises, if you want it to feel like a brand new car, then yeah, you have to do that stuff regularly with what we do.
Yeah.
Because especially drunk girls, they just smash into the back seat and they can shake the whole car, even if they're tiny. It's true.
Well, I guess I don't understand. Like, what kind of car are you driving that people like getting in the back of your car is going to ruin your shocks?
I mean, you've seen some of the people we pick up.
Yeah, he's replaced a master brake cylinder. Like, he's replaced.
He also might have bought a piece of shit car.
Well, he bought a Chevy.
Yeah. Chevys are fine.
But see, those things, I don't know. That's not regular maintenance.
Yeah, to me, I'm like, I fix that stuff when the shit breaks. Like,
right.
I mean, as long as the car is safe to run down the road and it's not so loud that it sounds like an earthquake when you're driving it, like, I think it's fine. I mean, yeah, I could probably replace all that shit too, but why do it if it's not broke?
things that get really loud if you're on the highway or when you're coming to a stop probably need to be fixed. But otherwise, if it's not like a problem, yeah, it's a little annoying, but turn your radio up.
But he's also going for the wow factor, right? He's going for, poor me. I didn't, it cost me money to drive for a living. Yeah, but you brought in 80 grand or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're going to replace every single piece of equipment on your car, you ain't going to make shit.
Yeah. But your car is going to be in great condition in 10 years for, nothing, I guess, because you've covered it.
How dare you?
What about paying? What about paying for your time?
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, he obviously did a lot of the work himself, so good on him. I'm not replacing a sway bar.
Yeah, he I guess two windshields, and he, even after the first one, didn't get insurance on his windshields.
Well,
that's dumb.
It's kind of not a clickbait article, but like Jesper said, he wanted to have that wow factor for the article.
Yeah.
All right. Jumping into the next ad. Jackie at Michigan Insurance and Financial Services. Jesper and I have Jackie as an insurance agent. Sam?
I actually have Jackie's phone number right now that I got from Gabe.
Not from Gabe?
You just got it off the phone. The line page right here, right? Come on.
For God's sakes, if you call her, please tell her you heard it from the Gig Economy podcast.
No, I've spoken to her before, and she knows our association.
Yeah, Jackie's awesome. You can call her at 269-569-6127. That is her cell phone, or email her, Jackie at miafs.com. She is an independent agent, meaning she can price out several different insurance companies. I'm not sure what Jesper ended up with. I ended up with Progressive. What about you, Jesper?
I do know. I'm back with Safeco for now.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm putting my car back into storage next week, and I will be calling her to update my policy and change it to hopefully a cheaper one.
So are you're putting it in, you're just not going to drive it at all?
Only, yeah.
Because I know Jesper Jackie had put lower miles on the black car, and he saved a ton of dough.
Yeah, I did it last year. This summer, right after I finished my internship, when I stopped driving. It was when we bought the other car. I didn't drive my car for 3 months.
Oh.
And I knew I wasn't going to be driving it because we had the Ford and I didn't need to. So I put it in store. I actually got $250 back just from putting comprehensive only on it.
How does that work when you have a lien on the car, though?
I don't. My car is owned.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you can't do that with a lien.
No. Yeah. But yeah, the Nissan is fully paid for, so I can put that into storage.
Oh,
but my piece of shit black car has low mileage on it right now. Yes, that is true.
Man, once you start driving again, you're gonna be like, I'm driving this car right off a cliff. I'm going to get a new car. America's back, baby. We're going to party. Screw this Mazda.
I'm gonna go drive a new Honda or something.
Yeah.
No, actually, so I'm with Safeco right now. They don't actually offer a rider yet. But because I'm still grounded, I figured I don't need the rider right now, and so I will be. Once I'm back driving, I will obviously be switching back to something that'll give me the rider.
Yeah, how does that rider work with food delivery? I need to call her. Gosh,
yeah,
technically, it's the same thing, Jason. It's the whole livery, whatever it's called, right?
As long as there's still the same coverage from the delivery company. So if DoorDash is providing you the same coverage that Uber is, you're good. But if the company you're delivering for offers you no coverage, that is very different, and I think you need full commercial for that.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah. Yeah, you very well may technically need full coverage, Jason, but I won't tell anybody.
Shut your mouth.
Don't tell me.
I'm doing shipped, so they don't offer anything.
Let's move on. I'll just read it's a Grubhub post. Again, Grubhub Reddit if you want some. The instructions: leave at first set of stairs. Please do not ring doorbell, or please do not ring doorbell. Please do not knock. Dogs go crazy. Please do not ring bell or knock. Y'all always do it like people work graveyards in this house and sleep during this hour. Tip $0. So the title of the post is "I've never been more excited to ring a doorbell in my life."
Exactly. I would pound like the police.
I'd pick it. So what's interesting about Grubhub is you don't see the tip until you click you're heading to deliver the food. You see what you're going to make. So he may have made $10 or $12 and Grubhub made up for it. But yeah, when you see that $0 and there's any instructions in there, I'm like, yeah, I'm barely going to get to the step before I drop the food off. So
yeah,
just let me know.
And you're going to knock the door.
I would kick the shit out of that door. So
they have one of those screen doors that are really loud when you touch them.
Say that again. You were cut off.
If they have one of those screen doors that are very, very loud if you touch them, the metal ones that rattle.
Yeah. Or the one that you pull open, you let it go, and it goes kabam.
Yes.
That one too. Tip your delivery drivers, you son of a bitch. Okay, here's what Sam talked about earlier. This is crazy. Like, we won't watch the whole thing, but I just can't believe this woman did this. So basically, she goes off over an $8 tip, and you can watch what happens.
DoorDash Karen.
How you believe it? Thank you. How you believe it?
No, I could speak to you actually.
He's telling her to leave it.
I'm sorry?
I need to speak to you. I don't think you realize where they're coming from, so I need to speak to you.
Where what's coming from?
Where the food you ordered is coming from. I don't think you realize the distance that it comes from, because then you would never actually have given what you give. So I think you can come and see face to face. Because I drove 40 minutes, and it was extremely far, and I got it to you early. So I don't think you realize where you ordered from.
I don't understand.
Well, I think
from where?
From the restaurant that you ordered from. Do you realize how far it is? Do you realize you ordered from Colmac and you're in Smithtown?
That's a 15-20-minute drive.
It's not. You need to try to drive it. I just drove it. It's 40 minutes. It's 12 and a half miles.
40 minutes to go 12 miles?
I know. It's like, what in what world is that?
They don't let us know how far. So I think you need to adjust your tip
That's a lot.
to make it right.
How much is the tip?
You gave an $8 tip.
What the hell are you looking for?
Okay, I'm going to bring the food back. I'm going to bring the food back. Okay.
I can't believe she took the food back.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just going to drive 40 minutes back.
I would have lost my mind if I had been him.
Oh,
he was actually like, he was just flabbergasted. I kind of appreciate he didn't freak out and be like, whatever, F you, B. I mean, I feel bad for people that are named Karen, but she definitely looked like a Karen. Like,
yeah, she did.
It was me.
I don't think you realize where it's coming from.
Yeah. I mean, she tried to like pussyfoot around saying, I just want more tip instead of being direct about it. But like, who are you that you actually ask people for more money?
No.
I mean, again, she's going to lose her job because it went viral. But I mean, like, you make the decision. She kind of lied. And I don't know what app it did end up being DoorDash, I think. But it's like, you know how far it is. It tells you the miles.
I mean, I guess technically maybe there was really bad traffic and maybe it did take 40 minutes, but
that's not on him.
No. If anything else, you contact the company and say, hey, you need to adjust my pay for this.
Yes.
You know,
which they would just have laughed at her.
You'd be surprised, Jesper. Ben,
if you have a valid reason, sometimes they'll adjust.
Ben has reached out to both companies at a time, and like when they, I don't know, they screwed something up and they paid him now, not the full rate, but they gave him like a, $3 for base or something like that. And I was like, man, I need to do that more if I get screwed and just see if they'll.
I had one New Year's last where they screwed up. Uber screwed up a pickup from
How dare you? They've never screwed up
from the Bob. This was at New Year's Eve, right? And I remember it was like a super search, and they never paid me the search, but they did then after I contacted them enough, so they did finally pony up.
Yeah, what's with Instacart? If usually they're pretty good about putting heavy pay onto orders that have heavy items, but the rules are finicky about how you go. Like it has to be like more than 3 items that are more than 8 pounds or some weird rules. Yeah, and sometimes they miss it. So if you just call and say, hey, these couple items met the limit, I should have heavy pay, they'll throw an extra $5 to $7 on there for you.
Oh, damn, that's pretty good.
So a 50-pound bag of dog food is heavy?
Yes.
You're obsessed with that 50-pound bag of dog food.
Yes, you would pay heavy pay if you ordered that through Instacart.
Sorry.
All right, Jesper, you got this one. This article about Uber for lawn care and snow removal launches in Grand Rapids.
Can I talk about the rates that you got from here?
Can you talk about the rates and the response I got back?
Yeah, I know.
Can I actually get them to do my yard in the summer and just bill my landlord who never does it?
Yeah, you could.
You're gonna have to talk to your landlord about that. So the company's name is Green Pal, and it's a company that specializes in both lawn care, and then I think snow removal is probably pretty new for them. But the idea was that just before Christmas, not Christmas, New Year's, Fox 17 wrote that they opened up in Grand Rapids, added that to the market. They are a pretty big company. They have in a lot of different markets. 47 states, 200 different markets, and has been around for a long time. But the whole idea is just like any other gig economy company, I guess. You can now go out, you can load the app, the Green Pal app, and you can get a quote for it. Now, Jason did go ahead and request quote for Green Pal, and from the company that launched last year. What was the name of that?
Mow Plows.
Mow Plows, yes.
Yeah.
And that company, now Jason has a pretty straightforward driveway. There's nothing fancy about that. And they wanted $41 for the one. That was from Mow Plows. And then Green Pal he sent him a quote for $71 to mow his lawn in the winter or something.
Yeah, I know.
The verbiage was still all weird.
Well, interesting enough, the inches on there had a price. Like it was like 0 to 6 inches was this price, and I'm like, but then the description was like, well, I only can mow at 6 inches. I'm like, what the? I don't need mowing. And then they kept sending me text messages and emailing me. And I finally deleted the app and blocked it all. So
I just went to their website real quick, and there's a separate button you had to click for snowplow quotes instead of mowing quotes.
I did.
Oh well, it brought me all the way through to an email, which I wouldn't give them.
Give them an email right now.
No, I already closed it. I'm not giving them my email.
But I'm sure it's just you know what, Sam? I very well could have screwed up. I very well could have screwed up.
You know what I thought about when I saw that article? I thought about the app called, what was it? We had it on the Hand app, right?
I need a hand.
I need a hand. And I was thinking that might be an excellent app to go into to try and find people who could take care of your snow plowing for you. So
yeah, they're coming soon to Grand Rapids. I think they're launching in Lansing sometime this month, and then shortly after, probably maybe by spring in Grand Rapids. So
I mean, if I hadn't just saved up to buy a snowblower, like I'd be tempted.
You
but
bought
I've got to use it. I did this summer. I haven't been able to use it yet.
Well, when I went and dropped the mic off, I almost died 3 times. Like you,
I don't do the end of the driveway. That's a shared space, and I'm not doing it.
What your little sidewalk right there?
I did my sidewalk.
Yeah, I know. That's all you use the snowblower for?
Yeah.
You know how to mix the gas?
It's electric.
Oh, okay.
But the first day we had snow, it was far too wet and far too heavy. Like I just have a stage 1 snowblower, so it can't do like anything heavy duty, which is fine. I don't have that big of a walkway.
Yeah. The wet snow is the worst for any snowblower, dude.
Yeah. So,
Like,
but once we get like good, like nice fluffy snow, I can snowblow it instead of shoveling it. It'll be great.
Can I ask how much you pay for it?
Like $150.
I paid $150 for my snowblower 15 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it still work?
Oh yeah, beautiful. It's,
Nice.
yeah.
All right.
Gas blower, and it works just fine.
All right. Moving on.
I didn't want a gas one. It's too much work.
You know, honestly, the gas, I agree with you. I bought an electric blower and I don't have to mix the gas anymore. And that was nice. Now, I
don't mix the gas on mine. It's oil and gas.
Oh, you don't have it's a 2-stage or whatever. So you have to change the oil. Well,
I have never changed the oil in it, but yeah.
Oh my God. For 15 years?
You're lucky it still
No
works.
wonder your freaking cars fall apart.
Hey, I changed the oil in that one once in a while.
Shut up. Good God. You're pathetic. Here you go, Sam. You know I'm teasing.
I use it like 3 times a year. What's the big deal?
That's probably even worse.
Well, clearly it's lasted you 15 years and you've never changed the oil. So I get whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah.
I should probably change the oil.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a picture that, it's a joke picture from a fake DoorDash order.
Do you think this is fake?
I think so.
This is photoshopped?
Pretty sure. I mean, there's going to be a day where you will be able to get delivery to the moon. It will happen. Not in our lifetime.
You don't think in our lifetime?
No.
Not for $5.75 though.
No, it'll be $1.
So the picture is like a random location on Earth delivering to a location on the moon from McDonald's. Actually, for $5.75, it is 238,900 miles.
I'm telling you,
Right.
575. I mean, that's a
in
ball.
only 1 hour.
Funny. Good God. Where are we at here? Oh, that's ad of the day, and then we'll move on. Taxes. Schrotenboer Tax and Accounting. Call Dave at 616-940-1045. Dude, now is the time. Like,
absolutely.
Like, trust me, tax accountants are going to be real busy in about 2 weeks. It is the time.
Yes, please call him now. Come February, I don't know if he'll have room. I don't know a lot of places, and don't end up going to H&R Block. Please use someone that they're not accountants; they're just people that went through the training.
Trained on how to do a 1040, and that is it. They are not CPAs.
Yeah, order takers, right? Yep.
Right. So, Schrotenboer Tax and Accounting. Again, Dave, 616-940-1045. Please have someone professionally do your taxes. And honestly, okay, you can do tuber tax.
TurboTax.
That whiskey's getting to me a little bit. You can do TurboTax, but I mean, like, if you have an accountant all year round, if you have a question about like, can I write this off or whatever, like anything, you can email them. They're not going to charge you for that because you paid for them at the end of the year. So,
right. And again, TurboTax, you could be leaving money on the table. Your accountant is more likely to work harder to get you the best refund possible.
100%.
The least amount owed possible.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And if you're anything like Jason and have like 44 W-2s, then
it's gonna be ridiculous this year.
Yeah, I'm real glad you've never asked me to do your taxes because they're a mess.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever will. I don't trust you.
That's okay.
Well, she gave me cinnamon rolls the other day, so I ate those.
Did give you cinnamon rolls
before I got to division. Did you? I had one gone.
Mind you, that is 200 feet from my house to division.
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, come on. All right, tip time. So I don't have a picture for this, but tonight's tip is what?
Your failure.
I know. I'm not a failure. So they brought it up earlier. Legal Rideshare out of Chicago will now represent you if you've been deactivated. So here's a tip. If you've been deactivated, please reach out to them. Now, it doesn't mean that they are going to be able to always get you reactivated, but This is where it's like, good God, if you have a dash cam, for the love of God, call Legal Rideshare. Be like, listen, look what I got here. I didn't do shit. Like, you know what I mean? So,
and no matter what, have a dash cam.
Well, yeah, of course. You can use the link in our description for the Van True Pro. But yeah, if you can call Legal Rideshare and they can help you if you got deactivated, like fucking Tim Burns. Fuck that guy. Sorry.
Be nice.
Was that too harsh?
Oh no, it was great.
Yeah.
What I love most is that John has never met any of us, and he knows who Tim Burns is.
I did not know he was deactivated.
Yeah, he had a post on Facebook.
Apparently, someone said he didn't have a mask on,
and it must have been like the second or third time.
Yeah,
everybody gets a warning.
Right. So
maybe he should drive with his mask on.
Yeah, that's you think he wasn't driving with his mask on. I actually hate that guy, y'all, because he was supposed to be on the show like he canceled 20 minutes before the show started. So I haven't been.
I mean, you're still friends with someone who literally slept through your show instead of showing up.
Who?
Gabe.
Oh, Gabe was working like a gazillion hours. Like yes, we gave him shit, but I mean, yeah,
it's different.
I can't believe we threw him under the bus.
And the thing is also this was not the first time.
Yes, this was the second time.
Right.
This time he just waited for like a half hour before the show.
We gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
And then he does the same the next time. Like,
oh, that guy is so dead to me.
What?
If I got a jump start and I rolled up, it was him, I would like burn out of there and say,
you should run away laughing.
See ya, sucker. All right. This is my shenanigan. It's just kind of funny, the instructions. I actually posted one today that you get from, and this is Amazon, I think, or maybe it's not Amazon. I don't know. It kind of looks like a Whole Foods, but it says, leave it at my door. Please be swift with the submission. My wife is hangry. I fear that my life may actually lie in your hands. She's a hitter, and I made a horrible mistake of not reading her mind that she was hungry 30 minutes ago. I fear that I do not have much time. Please hurry. I don't know how much longer I can hold her off. Godspeed. I'm counting on you. I love customers like that.
Did you notice something?
No.
The delivery is for Nicolette.
Nicolette. Yeah, he probably ordered with her phone.
Right.
Or it's a female couple.
Yeah. It could be lesbian.
What does even matter?
It doesn't. I just thought it was interesting. That's all.
All right, I'm removing you from the stream, Jesper.
Yeah,
what? No.
Fun.
What?
Okay, this next one
is fantastic. Saw this on my mail route today. There's a lot of reasons why your mailman might not deliver your packages, and this is one of them. I can handle a dog, but not a dog with an axe.
Legit, y'all. I know most people listen to it. This dog, straight up, it's not Photoshop. He's got an effing axe in his mouth, and it's like a big ass German Shepherd.
Yeah, and it's a big. I mean, somebody must have like just left it laying next to like a pile of wood or something.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
the dog just picked it up and took off with it.
Or
Dogs can be frightening enough depending on their behavior.
Yeah.
This is a no-go for me. This is I'm going to crack the door open, throw your package on the ground, and leave.
Yes, I almost do that with all German Shepherds because they scare the shit out of me. But
I actually keep real treats in my car so I can distract them and they go.
Dude,
away.
I used that last week again. This freaking big ass dog. I was like, oh,
you are so mean. I'm going to give you a bag of dog treats.
I have treats. I give them to my dogs because they're really expensive.
I just
here's a tip. Here's a tip for you if you're delivering. If you don't have dog treats, just in a high pitched voice, say, "Hi, baby, you want a treat? Come on, let's get a treat." And as I walk up to the house, they're like, "Oh, we're walking up to get a treat." And then I drop the package. I'm like, "Come on, let's get a treat." And then he walks back. When I get in the car, I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here."
One of these days, a dog is going to realize what you're doing, and you're going to get your butt.
The word is getting around, Jason.
The dog.
They're talking about you.
All right,
So,
yeah. This is awesome. I can't wait for you to read this. I'm sorry.
I think it's a perfect way of really keeping yourself motivated.
Right.
Have you ever heard a crackhead say, "I have no money. I'm not going to smoke today"? No, They always find a way. Are you gonna let a crackhead out hustle you today?
Nice job.
That's how you have to read it every time.
It sounds like one of John's inspirational Mondays.
Yes.
Motivational Mondays.
I was totally thinking that for sure. That's what it sounded like. We need to get John's going to be on the show. Not really soon, but like, oh shit, that was loud. Sorry. Coming up in like end of February or March. So,
of course, probably one of the Wednesdays when I absolutely cannot make it.
Oh,
you were waiting for that. So
no, you need to be commenting and just ripping John a new b-hole. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I'm glad we wrapped it up.
Welcome back, 2021, baby.
Yes. Thank you, Sam, for guest hosting. If anyone's out there that's willing and wants to guest host, we're always looking for new people to step in. We'll even give you a mic, not give it to you, but you can use a mic for the show and yeah, all that stuff. Even if you're out of market, we'll take care of it. So any closing thoughts for you two? Any tips for the newbies?
Nope.
Nothing?
No, not really.
I just want to get back driving.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, I guess I don't think I'm ever gonna drive again.
I know. Sam's going to have her big girl degree, and she's not going to have to do it. Maybe just on the weekends for fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely still work like 1 day a week to save up for our down payment on a house, but I don't know that it'll be Uber. It might just be like those nice ship Sundays, like I had this last weekend when I made $250 in 6 hours.
I miss my therapy hours. That's what I miss.
Yes, where you can call me and I can act drunk on the phone.
I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to all the people.
He wants to talk to the cute young girls.
All right.
All the people,
All
Sam.
the young
all
girl.
the people.
With the short skirts that are drunk.
All the people.
All
right, we're out of here.
Guys. Thank you. Stay safe.